you essentially, right, before your thoughts, before your feelings, before your sensations, before your body, you essentially are just the seeing, the perceiving, the awareness. So just see like this. Seeing happens. And I'm not just talking about eyesight, I'm talking about true perceiving. You are that seeing itself. So oftentimes in self-inquiry or in meditation, there's a tendency to look for something, for an object that you can define with qualities and describe. But it is the seeing itself that the one that is doing the looking, that is what we are trying to find. So it can never be found like an object with qualities because it is the one doing the looking. So notice, well, first of all, I want to say, don't look for an object. Don't look for something to stumble upon or even like find, because it is the act of looking, it is the perceiving that is what you are trying to find. All that's required is to rest your thoughts, your feelings, right? The attention going towards all of these things. The attention going towards what you have to do and all your goals and all that stuff for just moments at a time. They're not going anywhere. The attention that is going outward onto thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, that has to rest. And naturally, there's a recognition that takes place of what is doing the looking, because that's what remains when attention is no longer going outwards to all these things. So that is a practice of again and again pausing and dropping all thoughts. Okay? Now, second point I want to make is that seeing happens. In the seeing, right? Seeing itself is not concerned with what it is seeing. So look at it like this. The good is seen equally as the bad, right? The capacity of perceiving, the capacity of its existence, of the good's existence, is equal to the capacity of the bad's existence, right? Seeing doesn't discriminate what is seen. It simply sees. Just like the space of a room doesn't discriminate or is not affected by what you put in it, right? You cannot do anything to space. You can put as many objects in a room, it's still the same space. And space does not discriminate what you put in the room or what you don't. Just like that, seeing happens. And you are that seeing. And the more you recognize that and abide as that, the more you will naturally feel peace, happiness, love, joy. Because those are inseparable qualities of this seeing. Just like the fragrance of a flower cannot be separated from the flower. Just like that, peace, joy, love, fulfillment cannot be separated from this awareness, from this seeing. They are qualities of that same essence. The problem is there is there is interpretation, and there is judgment, and there is discrimination of what is seen. So in what is seen, when now the mind is, this is good, this is bad, this is what I don't want, this should not be happening. And when attention goes outward onto those things and it assumes their form, and imagines those limitations to be real, engages with them in any way whatsoever, now we quite literally speak those or think those limitations into existence. And that is what we suffer. We never truly suffer what is perceived, what the experience is, what is seen. The seeing, you, has no preference, no discrimination against what is here. It is the mind that comes in and interprets, which creates the suffering, which creates the resistance, which actually further hinders the flow from just going through its optimal path. You see what I mean? So I'm not saying to just be in the seeing and then not care at all about your existence. Caring happens, goals still happen, everything still happens, but it is no longer born out of discrimination, interpretation, resistance, mind stuff. So there is never any resistance or suffering in the present in what is being seen. And when you are just in the quality of seeing, focusing just on neutral observing, being aware of your own awareness, now life can take a more optimal path to the solution to what is currently happening or to your goal, to your desired destination. So what I want to say is that you can choose to live from interpretation, from mind, or now that you're learning through this program and these teachings, that you can come back and recognize your natural state of being and live from that place of truth. Because as long as you are in your interpretations and judgments, you will again and again limit your own self in some way, and you will create suffering out of it. You will create your own sense of lack, then you will create your own chase to fulfill that lack, and then you will create your own impatience and frustrations because your lack can never be fulfilled. So this is a cycle that is never ending, and it is born in mind identification, living from interpretations and thoughts. Now, what needs to take place is a recognition that even the thought that comes up and saying, I can't do this, I don't know what is being said, or I don't know how to, make progress, I never get what I want. Even that, before you experience it to be real and speak it, is just a thought that is seen. You engage with it so it becomes real for you, and it is now your experience. However, it is just a thought that arose and can be gone. Without any interest from you, it cannot survive. And that is the power of seeing. Being able to rest in what is seen without judgment, without label. And simply rest in that seeing. Seeing it, the good equally as bad, as much as the bad. And just allowing the seeing to take place. And through the seeing, life takes a positive flow. No longer are your own imagined limitations placed on top of this pure flow, the stream of continuous life events. Try it out. Questions? Let me know in the comments.